Joining us right now on the Comcast Business Hotline, senior NFL reporter for Underdog Fantasy, NFL insider with Bleacher Report, Mr. J, and local guy, James Palmer on the Comcast Business Hotline. How you doing today, James?
I'm good, guys. I'm ready to head to New Orleans come Sunday and spend some time down there before another massive one between these two teams. All my boys are on cloud nine. I mean, it's good to be alive right now.
It really is. It really is. And this is a good city to have a Super Bowl. It's not like you have to go like when the Eagles went one time, they had to go to Jacksonville. It's just not the same. New Orleans is a great city to spend a weekend. Yeah, yep. Absolutely. Let's start off with just looking at the rosters. We'll get to intangibles, coaching staff, all that. Just 1 through 53 going into this game, which team do you think has an edge as far as the roster goes, Eagles or the Chiefs?
The Eagles have a more talented roster. I mean, I go back to the NFC Championship game. How many guys in that Commanders team start for Philadelphia?
Not many.
Three?
Not many at all.
Not many.
Maybe, honestly. And so we know, like the Chiefs are built to be better than the collective. I mean, we go look at the awards that we're going to have at NFL Honors next Thursday, right? It's going to be Eagles have two guys up for Rookie of the Year. They have an assistant coach up for Assistant Coach of the Year. They have Saquon up for Offensive Player of the Year, MVP. Kansas City has Andy Reid up. That's it. Nobody else nominated for any of these end of the year accolades, but they got good players in the trenches for sure. I'd say the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line collectively is better. The interior portion for Kansas City is really, really good. I mean, after this game is over, Trey Smith, their guard, is going to be the highest paid guard in NFL history. He's that good. Creed Humphrey's an outstanding center. Joe Thuney has saved their season, moving from guard out to tackle and playing left tackle, but they've had issues on the outside of it. I mean, I think you look at the skill guys, it's not even close. In all honesty, Philly has two number one wide receivers. Dallas Goedert's outstanding. I mean, Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce, but doesn't move like he used to, but he's still obviously dynamic. And you look at the running back spot, okay, let's just move on to the next position and go to the other side of the ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much talent on Philly. What we can get into the intangibles, like you said, but I just think across the board in terms of talent, Philly is better. I don't want to say it's not close. There's definitely some players and some all-pro type of players. Trent McDuffie's outstanding in the secondary. Nick Bolton's a great middle linebacker. But as a whole, top to bottom, Philly is better and probably deeper.
With that being said, obviously a lot of talented players on the Eagles. How would you rate the coordinators this year, the offensive and defensive coordinators of the Eagles?
Of the Eagles, I think Vic Fangio's done an outstanding job, obviously. And I've known Vic for a long time. I live here in Denver now, and I covered him when he was the head coach here. And, I mean, if there's anybody that Patrick Mahomes hates, it's Vic Fangio. I mean, no lie. I mean, he can't stand going against Vic. I mean, there's a reason why when these two teams faced each other the first time in the Super Bowl that, Nick Sirianni brought in Vic Fangio on that 2-week contract. And I went back and looked at some of my notes, talking to Patrick about Vic back in the day when he was the head coach, and he's just like, he never shows me the same thing twice. And, they're in the same division, so it shows you how much that, Vic mixed it up on Patrick. And Vic has such a good understanding of what Mahomes does. I remember him telling me back in, when he was the head coach in Denver, going, like, he's so versatile because he does every single aspect of playing the quarterback position right. So the minute you take something out and take something away, he's going to recognize that and then move on and then beat you in a different way. What you have to do is you have to win one-on-ones. You're going to have guys up front, whether it's Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith, win a one-on-one quickly, or you're going to have your corners win one-on-ones. And somebody's going to have to make a play, whether it's, Cooper DeJean or Quinyon Mitchell or Slay or whoever it is. You got to find a way to limit him because he'll keep changing, but then it's going to come down to making a one-on-one play. I would think Vic has been outstanding when guys buy in, and they have. Spagnuolo on the other side is maybe the best big game coordinator this league's ever seen, on the verge of being a 5-time Super Bowl champ. I mean, beat Brady. Now he's been on a run with Kansas City. So, I mean, Kellen Moore, I think, has done a really good job with what how do I put this the right way, what he has to work with offensively. I know that sounds crazy with as much talent as there is on offense, but they're limited in some of the things they can do. And I think he's done a really good job in terms of how he schemed it up. And then obviously Andy Reid is Andy Reid on KC.
We're speaking with NFL insider James Palmer on the Comcast Business Hotline. Talking about Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni, this coaching matchup. This was Nick Sirianni had some adversity, has bounced back in a big way. Andy Reid at this point has been there, done that. I guess on paper, Andy has the advantage. What are some things that Nick can do, being that you've been around these big winning teams over the next couple of weeks to help close that gap, that experience gap, now that he's in his second Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question because I'm trying to think about different things that Philly can do to kind of get around Andy. He's always going to come up with new things you haven't seen. There's going to be plays that they haven't put on tape this entire season that they're going to use in the Super Bowl. They did it in the AFC Championship game. The second Patrick Mahomes touchdown run was a play that they've never run. And so Andy's always going to have those added wrinkles. I think what Nick can do in terms of like the other aspects that come with being a head coach, whether it's the CEO role or just player management and things like that, like he's going for a second time now. I mean, I don't know if the tears are going to fall down his face, guys, again. It was a great shot, but he's going to be there for a second time. I think the calm factor with a lot of these guys that are going for the second time is going to be different. How does Nick lean into that? Because I will tell you, that is a major advantage for Kansas City. If the game is close, the game is tight, it's a big moment. Other teams get tight, they just feel like they're going to win. And Andy breathes that through his team. How does Nick combat that and kind of get his team to have the same feeling? Because that's the only way you beat the Chiefs. If you make big plays in big moments, because that's what they do. So you go in the fourth quarter and you make a play. How does Nick get that message across over the next 2 weeks is probably one of his biggest things he has to focus on.
Big plays, big moments. I mean, it almost sounds like you're telling us that this game could be decided by a turnover here or there. And that's one thing the Eagles have been very good at lately is punching the ball out and pouncing on the football.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, I look at this game, guys, and this is really what it comes down to me. These are two teams that have more 10-play drives than anybody else in football. These are two teams that don't turn it over. I think if you have a 3-and-out or a turnover, like you're going to be going, when do we get the ball back? Because there's a decent chance the other team's going to hang on to the ball for a long time. And Philly has the ability to do that with their run game, obviously, with the way that they can stay on the field. Kansas City's been great at that. And then neither team really turns the football over. That's been a big part of this back end of the season for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, this is the first time I believe in Super Bowl history both quarterbacks are coming in with like over 200 attempts without an interception coming into the game. I mean, both of these teams protected. I think this really, speaking of big moments and big plays, honestly, if Jalen Hurts makes a play against the blitz, I think that is a game-changing type of Eagles victory type of play because the Chiefs cannot create pressure without bringing extra guys. They just can't. They have the second biggest discrepancy in the NFL this season between pressure rate on rushing 4 and bringing extra guys. It's just night and day, and Spags almost has to do it. And he brings corners, he brings safeties. How does Jalen see it? How does he either A, avoid it, or burn the Chiefs on it? And I think that's the thing, because they have 58 unblocked rushers this year in terms of pressure. Just guys coming with nobody touching them, more than anybody else in football. So how does Jalen see it early? And he can beat them deep, and he can beat them. If he makes those plays, I think that's huge. Big plays and big moments.
Yeah, we saw that blitz. A couple guys come completely unblocked on that big play where Allen somehow got it to Kincade, and it kind of goes off Kincade's forearm.
Yeah.
That was one of those plays you were just describing where it looked like maybe 3 guys got in the backfield untouched, and I don't know how Allen even got the ball down the field.
Yeah, and I was standing right there on the 20-yard line and watched the entire thing, and that's what they do. Chris Jones goes one side, and you got to double him, and then on the other side, they'll bring extra guys. So, okay, if you want to shift back towards the pressure, then you're putting Chris Jones in a one-on-one, and there's a pretty good chance he wins it. I mean, that's why Spags does what he does.
Absolutely. Now, I want to ask you a question because you've been around the Chiefs a lot, but you're from here. So I just want to know, as a media member, if this game's tied with 5 minutes left in the fourth, how hard is it for you to remain in full journalist mode, being that you grew up an Eagles fan, yet you also were around the Chiefs a lot during this run?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got the bright lights on you when you're, doing TV all the time. You can keep cool and not sweat, and on the exterior, everybody thinks everything's calm. And I mean, come on. I hosted the parade in front of the Art Museum for NFL Network with my colleague Colleen Wolfe, who were both from Philly. I don't think there was a better moment in my broadcasting career for myself that I've enjoyed more than doing that back in 2017. So I think we know where, James is leaning, let's be honest. There's a lot of people in that Chiefs organization that I like. Andy Reid has treated me brilliantly over the years and everything, but, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, it's the Eagles.
Listen, James, we really appreciate that insight and all your great answers and stuff. Safe travels, man, and maybe we'll talk to you when you're down there.
Appreciate it. Sounds good, guys.
Right.
Hit me up.
Thanks so much. That was James Palmer.
Felt like I should have said go Birds at the end of the phone call.
NFL Insider, senior reporter for Underdog Fantasy, NFL Insider for Bleacher Report.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching our YouTube. If you want to help us out, go ahead and like and subscribe for us. If you liked what you saw, go right over here to our playlists and pick out whatever you want to watch.